All right, so we're recording, and I'll hit the theme song, and you can take it away.
When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids, and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles.
Yes, welcome to a special extra credit episode of Dads Meet World, your weekly deep dive into the 90s classic show known as Boy Meets World. We're taking just a small step back for a moment and doing a little extra credit with you today because, as you might tell if you're looking on YouTube, Brett is not in his normal setup. Brett is
I
off
am not.
exploring the world.
I am in Sioux Falls, South Dakota this week. Quite a bit of ways from Northeast Ohio.
Just a smidgen. Yeah. So we figured instead of trying to do a full-blown episode, just at the time crunch of our personal schedules, we thought the episode that we wanted to cover in full depth that we want to give more time to, we would wait on that a week. So we do apologize if you're hoping to hear cult fiction today. Trust us, we've got something pretty good, pretty exciting coming up for that. I'm really excited for that episode. But Brett likes when we do these extra credits for me just to throw out something wacky to him, and I think I got something pretty good. Brett, other than
All right.
travels, how are you? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little bit tired today. I've been up since 4, and we're recording 9:30 local time, 10:30 the time zone I left from. I'll tell you a fun, quick story. When you fly, I flew out of Cleveland, and you want to give yourself a good buffer. I had a 7 a.m. flight. I woke up at 4, was planning to leave 4:30. I left about 10 minutes late. And, I get up to the airport a little bit after 5. I had to go through the rigmarole of getting my bag checked because when I checked in the day before, they couldn't process the payment to actually get the bag on the airline. And I spent 90 minutes in line for TSA.
Nice.
And I am running up against minutes before they will close the door to end boarding for my flight.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide, oh, even though you have nothing in your pockets at all, and I'm just wearing a t-shirt and athletic shorts, I put everything in my bag to go through the x-ray machine. I'm an old pro at this by this point. I needed a pat down. So here I am already running late. Apparently so. My groin looked suspicious to the x-ray machine for some reason. So here I am already running late. I need to book it to my gate because it's a ways away from TSA. It's not like right there. And I'm running late, and they decide, yeah, we need to give you a pat down. And they got to wait for someone to come over and observe the pat down.
Oh my
so
gosh.
As I'm running up to my gate, they're announcing last call. So I get on the flight.
That's a little ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a lot ridiculous.
Yeah.
So other than that, things are going all right.
Good.
Everything's good back at home. Kids are doing good. Yeah.
Good.
How about you, Tyler?
Well, things are going okay. Our son decided today that he needed a break from his brother. Instead of going to babysitter with him, he went to work with me today. And I had a very non-traditional work today. I helped move former pastor of my wife. He was retiring, so we had to get him out of his house. So they said, hey, give us a hand. And I said, sure. And I'm thinking, well, there's got to be at least, a few people going to be here, maybe even hired people. Nope. It was me, my son, and one other family, and that was it.
Oh, my.
But we got everything. There wasn't much. It's just, when you're taking a bunch of boxes left and right, and It's a little warm to be moving right now. So fun
Just a
times.
skosh.
Yeah. But I got to take my son to an arcade to close out the workday for me, so we had a good
That's
time.
cool.
Yeah, local place. I recommend it. When you guys come back this way, we'll have to spend a little time over there,
I look forward to it.
as you should. So, Brett, I've been torturing. Well, I've been torturing myself for the past few weeks, and now I officially, in the last 24 hours, have officially tortured both of our wives. My wife was the first guinea pig for what we're going to do. I was the second guinea pig, and your wife was begrudgingly the last guinea pig. And it was funny because when I talked to her, she decided to get away from your children so that way we could talk without having minions playing behind us. And like your children kept coming in, like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Tyler's torturing me."
Yep.
So Brett, let's talk about what this is. You know me, I like brackets. And I think brackets are
Yeah.
fun. So I have a special bracket made up just for you in the context of I think how you would categorize that, how we've categorized them as Dad's Meet World thus far. Um, I have a list of 36 names. And
Oh
we're going to go
my.
through each of the names. If you don't recognize the name and the character behind that name, I will give a small description. This should go a lot easier than with our wives because multiple times they go, "Well, who's that?" I'm like, "I just told you." um,
Yeah.
so, yeah. And you might be wondering, Brett, what's the category?
What is the category?
Category, Brett, is who Eric should have ended up with.
Ah, yes, we did talk about doing something like this.
Uh-huh. So I have 36 names of the way I clarified it, I justified it was if it was a person who either they officially dated, officially called boyfriend, girlfriend, um, had some sort of interaction with each other with a flirty sense to it, um, or had really good chemistry also. I included that in there. Now you have your
Mhm.
one-off random stuff like the French maid. I don't have her in here because we knew nothing about her, so I didn't include her.
Quiche?
Yes, and there was a point where I had to cut us off. So, um, yeah, so I have 36 names, 18 per bracket. I have two brackets,
Hmm.
so we're gonna work our way through the final four of the first uh, three seasons, except for two, and then we'll get into the fourth through seventh season. So,
Okay,
Brett, are you ready for this?
I am ready.
Okay, cool. So here we go. First matchup. This is the playoff round. Brett, the 18th seed versus the 16th seed. We have Tracy from first season versus
Hmm.
Nebula from the first season. Would you like a description of either of these two?
Give me a little more of Tracy.
Tracy was one of the girls who Eric lied to his father about so he can go driving. She was also
It's
one
a
of the
Wonderful
girls
Night.
who was
Yep.
with the model.
Okay, I'm
So
going to go with
I
Nebula.
Yep. I went with Tracy only because she was the one that had the picture listed on IMDb, and I had to choose one or the other, so I picked her.
Yeah.
So yeah. Uh, so yes, I figured you'd go with Nebula. I have to make
Oh,
sure
of
I write these
course.
down. So the second
Nebby.
playoff, Brett, is Bonnie, aka I Have a Hot Tub Girl from season two,
Mm.
versus Monique, the scientist from season two. Or is it season three? I think it's season three. I'm sorry.
Hmm. I'm going to go with Monique.
Very interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have to start circling. I have all of them together. Um, just so you know, spoiler alert. For whatever reason, your wife was okay with Bonnie.
Hmm.
I'll let you know when she falls off the bracket.
Okay.
All right. So in the first matchup between Nebula and Linda, Brett. Linda, I like her.
I like Linda. Oh, it's Linda all the way.
Yeah. Linda is our number 1 seed.
Oh, of course. I would expect no less.
All right, so we have Linda, of course. Okay, then we have Heather, the first girlfriend from the first season. Again, I don't think we know why they broke up. They just did. And we have the 14th seed, Jacqueline. Now, Jacqueline's kind of a thrown out there, Brett. I combined 2 different girls. One girl we saw but never heard from her from the poetry session.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other girl, we heard about her, but we never see her. So, and it was like within 2 weeks. So I put them 2 together. So Jacqueline, who went with him to the Christmas Day dance and, or Christmas form or whatever they called it, and left him for her old boyfriend.
Let's go with Heather.
Yeah, I figured. All right. Now we have an interesting matchup, Brett, because we have Tori Hart, aka the tutor, versus Rebecca Alexa. No need to give her more information.
Ooh. One that he wanted to use or one that was using him?
The bracket is who Eric should end up with. So it's whoever you wanted him to be with.
Let's go with Rebecca Alexa.
I had a feeling. Yes. You and the wives both chose her.
Yeah, all right.
I figured if I have them calculated, then it gives us another layer to this as well. So it also gives us a small tiebreaker if we need it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next we have, this is the one I find the most charming. We have Wanda, as in cousin Wanda, versus Rebecca, the girl that Corey spotted him and Eric, or her and Eric, in the parents' bedroom.
Ooh. It can't be Wanda. No. Sorry, cousin, no.
That's okay. I had to do it, Brett. All right. Next we have Valerie, aka the girl that skates, that he had to learn that food has no power over him, and he can skate real good. Versus Molly, the editor of the newspaper.
Ooh, that was actually kind of tough. I'm going to go with Valerie.
Very nice. She has been a favorite so far.
Yeah, all right.
Molly stood no chance.
Yeah, Molly was just too standoffish.
Yeah. All right, next, Brett, we have Christy. Christy, I don't remember her name. But I love you. Versus Kim. Oh, gosh. And Kim, this is one I always forget. She is the girl that he dates for an episode that he and Sean go on a double date with and has a famous cousin.
Oh, yeah. Let's go with Kim.
Fair.
At least he knew her name.
Yeah, he did. Next, Brett, we have Jessica Feeney. The Jessica Feeney. Versus... Yes. I knew that's the sounding that you would go with. Okay, Jessica Feeney, sorry, versus Dominique, the hairstylist.
Oh, Feeney all the way.
I know, but I had to get Dominique in here. She's just too wonderful not to.
Yeah.
Yep, Feeney has been by far a runaway so far. So, All right. Last but not least, this is the one that has been controversial, in my opinion, in the Dads Meet World universe. Brett, would you rather see, and you had Monique, the scientist, versus Desiree Beaumont?
Ooh. Desiree.
Thank you. Both of our wives went, I hate her. And I'm like, but she's so wonderful. Like the character, like
So much
she commits
fun.
so hard, and she's wonderful. She should have been more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. Our wives can't appreciate a good Southern belle, I guess.
Guess not.
And luckily for
My
us,
little
they'll never hear
pudding.
this.
Yeah. They
Say
won't
yes,
listen.
Puddin'.
I believe the lady wants pudding.
All right, so next, Brett, we have the number 1 seed, Linda, versus number 3 seed, Heather. Both from season 1. Both
Linda.
seniors, apparently. Linda, of
Yes.
course.
Linda.
All right. Next, we have the Battle of the Rebeccas. We have Rebecca Alexa versus Rebecca from the bedroom. I guess that's the only way to put it.
Rebecca from the bedroom or Rebecca Alexa. Let's keep Rebecca Alexa going.
Yep. All right. Next, we have Valerie, girl who skates, versus Kim, the one with the famous cousin.
Valerie.
Very nice. And last, and again, it's all complicated because people like to throw weird prospects at us. We have Jessica Feeney versus Desiree Beaumont.
Oh, this one's so tough, but
I'm
going to go with Jessica.
Yep, fair. I can't argue with you. I mean, I could if I was also voting.
This is my brother Eric.
He's shy. All right, and to get us to your final 4, Brett, we have Linda versus Rebecca Alexa.
Linda. That's easy.
Linda. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, if you're your wife, you would have said Rebecca Alexa.
Really?
Uh-huh. See, her justification was she wanted Eric to have to grovel to get forgiveness to be able to have a solid relationship. I'd think about that a little bit if I were you.
That might worry me.
All right. And to get to our last of the final 4, we have Valerie, again, girl who skates, versus Jessica Feeney.
Jessica Feeney.
Very nice. Yeah, for some reason, my wife really liked Christy. I think she loves the joke of Eric not being able to remember her last name, but still saying "I love you" and taking her to Pottery Barn. Because Sarah had Christy make it to the final 4.
Really?
Gonna make you eat that cat. All right, so Linda and Jessica Feeney are in your final 4, Brett. Let's see who they're going to be going up against from
All right.
the last 3 seasons plus 2 from season 3. There's like a weird span where he was really dating intensely or having good chemistry with women.
Yeah.
And then it stops. All right, so we have a controversial play-in tournament here, Brett. Play-in matchup, I mean. So we have Bianca being the 18th seed. She only dates athletes, as you know. Versus Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I like the crossover appeal. Let's go with Sabrina.
All right. Then we have, again, a little controversial, but the 17th seed, Jennifer Love Pfefferman, versus the 15th seed, Topanga Lawrence.
Pfeffy.
Yep, fair. Now, my justification for Topanga being on here, which your wife was quite offended, I said he proposed it was made
Let's
clear
drop
that
the
he
charade.
just dropped the charade. He clearly is attracted to her, and in the first season, she had a crush on him. So I mean, there's intrigue.
Release the Nick cut.
Yes, release the Nick.
And
All
let's
right.
make Nick.
So we have here now, Brett, Sabrina the Teenage Witch versus our number one seed in this bracket, Rachel.
Ah,
I lost Jack. Rachel.
Rachel. You know what? I'm going to go with Sabrina. I'm going to go with the upset.
Why? What? Are you kidding me?
I like Rachel more with Jack.
I can't. Wow. Number one seed taken down by a 16th seed. Not even probably a canon event. Sabrina Teenage Witch moves on. Just want you to know that in the normal bracket so far, mine and your wives, we've said Rachel because she's the number one seed. And the only other person who said Sabrina was the one doing it to tick me off. So Sabrina, in probably a non-canon moment, moves on.
Everyone loves a Cinderella story.
Yeah. I will tell you, I almost put Jack on here because for a little bit there, I thought, okay, are we really going to have enough girls? But oh my gosh, we have so many.
There were
So
a lot.
I was like, I don't think I need to have Jack here because we have plenty.
Yeah.
All right. Now that I am calm, let's get back into the spread. We have the number 3 seed, Irene. Irene, who is the rural girl, the waitress that Eric almost made a family with if his dad didn't pull him out. Versus Judy, the girl from the Shakespeare play.
Irene.
Yeah, our wives said Judy for whatever reason.
There's a word for girls like you, Mrs. Eric Matthews.
Yeah, that's literally the only lines they say to each other.
Yep.
All right, here comes one I think you'll like, Brett. We have the number 5 seed, Lonnie, versus the number 11, Brenda Marsh. Brenda Marsh, Brett, as you might remember, was supposed to go on a date with Mr. Turner, and instead, Eric swooped her up, and the two of them went on a date.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick with Lonnie.
Yep. Lonnie is a favorite.
Yep.
All right. Next, Brett, we have Jill. Jill, as you might remember, went on a date with both Eric and Jack, and is a little more like Jack, unless Jack is more interested in her. But she starts the date off with Eric. So, Brett, Jack, would you rather go with Jill or Tammy, the girl who is the townie who has a child and works at DQ?
Let's go with Tammy.
Fair. All right, Brett. Next we have Lisa. Lisa, who is from Singled Out, versus Kelly the bartender.
Ooh. Lisa.
Yep. Yes, only one person said Kelly, and that was your wife.
Of course it was.
And I quote, I like her name. I choose her. Next, Brett, we have Carol. Carol, as you might remember, was the other girl in the date with Jack. And we realized that she's a little more like Eric. And for whatever reason, Eric and Carol, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Jennifer Bassett. Now, this might be a controversial, pick because it does make clear that he throws his arm around her and the two of them go off for some form of a date with the other exes of Sean. But definitely, Eric had his eyes on her.
Let's go with Carol.
Yep. She is the runaway at that spot. Next, Brett, we have Corinna. Corinna, of course, who is an aspiring artist.
Shallow, you are.
Thank you.
Shallow.
Look at that shallow boy. All right. So we have Corinna versus a surprise entrance, Diana the babysitter.
Let's go with Corinna.
Good call. I don't know. If Eric didn't do the whole bite my neck thing, I think she might have been interested in him.
Yeah.
So, and finally, Brett, we have Feffy, our 17th seed, going as number 2 seed, Brett, Kelly, Ryan's mom.
Kelly.
Yep. Yes. Kelly, you're Kelly, and I had some confusion over who we were talking about. She thought I said the bartender when I said Kelly. And I went, really? You chose Feffy over Kelly? And she goes, wait, who are you talking about? There's 2 Kellys. We figured it out. It's okay. So back to the top of the bracket, Brett. We again go back to the upset of a lifetime of Rachel. Rachel! And instead, we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch going up against Irene. Girl from a small town.
Irene.
Better be.
And honestly, if it had been Rachel in that spot, Irene still would have won.
Fair. I mean, Irene was adorable. There's no reason why they couldn't have made it work.
Exactly.
I will say, Brett, this is the first time I've added a new spot because Irene has always gone down in the second round. But we move on to the next up. We have Lonnie taking on Tammy.
Lonnie.
All right, Brett. Next, we have Lisa from Singled Out going against Carol. You know, Eric and Carol. It makes sense.
Lisa.
Yeah, good call. All right. Last, Brett, we have a hard one, which is Corinna, the writer of hits like Shallow Boy and Loser Freak.
He's a loser freak. Loser freak.
And Fuzzy Wuzzy Wuv.
Yeah, I don't remember that one too well. Not enough to sing it
Just
anyway.
wanna cuddle. And Dandelion. That's one of my favorites.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
All right, so we have Corinna going up against Kelly, Ryan's mom.
Kelly.
Yep. All right, Brett, and to get us again into the final 4, we have Irene going against Lonnie. 2 country gals going up against each other, Brett. One made her intentions very clear to Eric that she was interested, and the other has no idea that Eric is fond of her.
Going with Irene.
All right. Next, we have Lisa from Singled Out going against Kelly.
Kelly.
Yep. Kelly has been in every single Final 4.
Good. She deserves to be.
Linda did have that distinction until your wife ruined it. The other 2 sides have been giant messes. All right, Brett. So in your final 4, we have Linda taking on Jessica Feeney and Irene taking on Kelly. So, Brett, I have to ask you, between Linda, I like her, versus Jessica Feeney. Hooja! Who should Eric end up with?
As much as I love the Hoorah, I'm going with Linda.
Yep. So, Brett, between small town girl living in a lonely world, Irene, probably seen a bunch of people pass through, but always wanting to give them her pie, versus Kelly, I just need to find a good guy who also wants to be with my son. Who should Eric end up with?
Going with Kelly.
And last but not least,
Oh,
Brett,
man.
the moment of truth. Will it be a girl that Eric was with for one episode in season 1 who clearly had great chemistry with not only Eric, not only Morgan, but also Amy, and I'm sure Alan, sure, why not? Also was kind to Corey, and also was racially attacked, but also became a cheerleader. Or a woman, Brett, who was also in one season, one episode, and then a very different phase of her life when she meets Eric. Someone who has a child, and part of the reason that Eric likes her is because she has a child. And overall, has good connections with the parents and is okay with Corey. And I really like the guy who's coming into, hey, Eric, not now, go away. But, her son loves Eric, and the two of them get very much attached to each other very quickly. So, Brett, between Linda, again, one episode, and Kelly, again, one episode, who should Eric end up with?
Going with Linda. Or not, sorry, not Linda, Kelly.
Are we having a
Going with
Moonlight
Kelly.
situation?
No, I'm tired. I'm going with Kelly.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the woman that Eric should have ended up with, according to Dad's Meet World. Because, Brett, to spoil it, I too had the same final two. Linda and
I'm not
Kelly.
surprised.
And thus I settled on Kelly, because we never knew who Linda was when she grew up. I really wish we
Yeah.
would have known more about her.
Yeah, I wish you would have stuck around longer. I'm
Now,
with Morgan. I like Linda.
Linda can take this home to the bank because my wife chose between Lonnie and Linda. She chose Linda. However, again, spoiler, Kelly chose Rachel.
Hmm.
So, officially, the Dad's Meet World person that Eric should have ended up with is Kelly. And honestly, they should have written it so that way that could have happened. I don't know why they don't love Eric enough to do it. But yes, Dad's Meet World officially says he should have ended up with her.
That's
Although
right.
Rachel should have been a much higher end. You know what I mean?
Hey, I told you she still would have been knocked out in the second round.
I was trying to think of. I was going to tell you which one had by far the most confusion. Oh yeah, it was the matchup in the Desiree, Monique, and Bonnie because both our wives chose Monique and you. I chose Monique as well. Your wife chose Bonnie. That's what threw everything off. And then she chose Bonnie over Desiree. My wife chose Monique over Desiree because apparently neither one of them liked Desiree.
Mm-hmm.
I chose Desiree over Feeney, and then again over Cindy. So I had Desiree in my final two, 4. So
Mm-hmm.
other than that, though, Feeney swept through the Hetherington household.
Not surprised.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch got to the Elite 8 on my wife's side, only taken down by Lonnie. So yeah. So,
All right.
good-looking people, if you agree with Brett and I that Eric should have ended up with Kelly, let us know. If you want me to post the bracket so that way you can do it yourself, feel free to shoot us a message, and I have no problem with making it available to you.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think,
I think
Brett?
we should. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoy these brackets. They're always fun.
Yep, I had a feeling. I was going to look for a quick dad joke, so if there's anything you want to say before we get there, feel free to.
Well, I'll just share that people can always connect with us on social media at Dads Meet World across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X. And they can reach out to us via email, dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. Those are all the places you can reach out to us and tell us that you want Tyler's bracket.
Yep.
And if you can leave a review or a rating for us wherever you get your podcasts, we know people are listening. But the more reviews and the more ratings we get, the more the dad love is shared,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
and the more people can find us.
Yep. And if you'd like to hear who other people should have ended up with, we'd love to do another bracket like this. It'd be interesting.
Yes, yes. Who should Sean have wound up with?
That would be a huge
A
bracket.
long bracket.
I'm just gonna say it. That is a March Madness
You might
level
need to
bracket.
put some limits on that one. That'd be 2 parts.
Yes. Okay. Here's a dad joke for you, Brett. What do our flag and a sad candy cane have in common?
Flag and a sad candy cane. What do they have in common?
They're both red, white, and blue.
That one's
Dumb. So dumb.
Yes, it is, but that's what makes it good.
Yes, it is. Trying to think if there's another one I like. I'm looking at Independence Day jokes, and I guess the only one that I'm seeing that I'm like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll end it here. Did you hear the one about the Liberty Bell?
What about the Liberty Bell?
Yeah, it cracked me up too.
I knew it was going to be cracked something.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Good looking people.
Well, good looking people.
Thank you.
Well, Tyler, I'll see you back next week for Cult Fiction.
Yep. Right back at it. Can't wait.
Until then, I'll see you, good looking.
Back to you, good looking.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid?
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios. Tell your story.